Hi folks, welcome back to Cooking with Meg. Welcome back folks, thanks for coming back. Today we're going to make a tortellini Alfredo soup. We're going to use a roux base in order to thicken it. Now, let's start cooking. First, heat up your olive oil or butter, whatever fat source you want to use. Wait until the water is evaporated. That's when you know the chicken is fully cooked. Hey folks, next step is cutting up all your vegetables, which is your onion and garlic. You want to sharpen your knife first. If you don't have a sharpening post, that's fine. You can just use a regular knife, a chef knife, or a Santoku. I like Santokus, but I do not have Santoku with me. So right now we're going to cut up the onion. This is the method I use. There's more fancier methods to cut an onion or peel it. For me, I'm not used to it. So I find it's easier to take the bottom off, like that. Split it in half, peel it like exactly what I'm doing, just so it's easier for beginners, instead of like struggling. Clean as you go too on top of that. Right now we're going to do a small medium dice. No, right now we're going to do a small dice, sorry. There's two different ways to cut it. You can do it like this, but here's the flaw. It's not as accurate sometimes. But if you cut it in a half and then 1/4 and then divide them out individually, then you can have the most precise cuts because you're singly cutting all of them. But for me, I'm not doing that just because, one, this is more for home cooked chefs. Plus, this is like the way I've always learned how to cut an onion. So that's why I'm using it too, because it's in my comfort zone. Slice it. Use your fingers to guide you. Remember, use the knuckle method. It's good to have band-aids as well if you're not used to this way. Okay, onion has been diced. Put your onion in the bowl just to have a clear work. Add 4 cloves of garlic. You can just smash the garlic. Okay, next is mincing the garlic. Use 3 cloves, but I minced the other one already. You can smash it like this, and do a crust cut, which is basically doing this. But there's many different ways to mince it in a quicker way. You can use a garlic press if you want to. However, I do not have a garlic press with me at least. Therefore, I'm doing it this way. However, another method to make it small and quicker that's how thinly slice I used. And then you go the other way to give you like most accurate kind of. Boom. You can see the difference, how different it is. This is tiny, it's quicker. This one is a bit clumpy and it takes a while to make it really small. Chicken is almost done. The water evaporates. Right now you want to give the chicken a bit of the golden color, like so. Let that stir up a bit. So you see this golden piece here? It's perfect. You wait on the other side to sear to give a nice color as well. After the chicken's fully cooked, put it on your board and then we're going to dice it. It's nice golden brown. We're going to dice this bad boy. We're going to do a small dice more specifically so it can fit in the mouth. For me, I'm going to reuse this pan just because that's the only pan I have in my dorm. We're going to melt the butter at a low heat. I would say 2 or 3 notches for a regular stove. Also, it's good to reuse this pan because it's kind of deglazing the flavor of the chicken. Let the butter melt. A roux is basically when you add fat and flour together to thicken. It doesn't even need to be butter. It's just something I've used. See, the butter is melting. Make sure the butter doesn't turn all dark. This butter is only turning a bit dark just because I'm using the bits and pieces to add more flavor. Now add the onion. You want to low heat. Make the onion look translucent. You don't want it a caramelization color, but I did. Once the onion is whited, add the garlic. Wait until you have the smell of garlic to know that it's cooked to the way that you want it to be. Pour a cup of cream. Whisk it to make sure the butter, the roux base, kind of helps thickens it. Next you add the 5 cups of sodium, which I am now. Whisk it, stir it. Nice broth. Add your seasoning such as the oregano, salt, basil, pepper. Do a teaspoon of each, and then if you feel like you want to eat more, to add more, then go for it. It's all about taste. If you want to, you can add spinach and mushrooms in. For the recipe, you don't have to. I just did a handful of spinach and mushrooms to make this a bit healthier. I just throw them in just because while the sauce is thickening, it still cooks the mushrooms and the spinach as well. I add chicken in to keep the chicken a bit more moist. The pasta and let it boil and cook. That's the final result. If you think your soup is a bit too thick, add some milk or water to make it thinner. I prefer milk just because it gives out a better flavor. That's all, folks. Thanks for cooking with me. Have a great day.